All right, Sarah, let's get started. Bring in the first case, Alan Johnson.
Hello.
Grant.
Yes, Judge. Sorry about that. I had difficulties unmuting,
Hello.
and my video cannot seem, it won't come on for some reason.
All right, let's just get started. We're on the record in 24 CCR 240460, State of Texas versus Alan Johnson. We're here on a motion to modify bond conditions. Mr. Grant, submit your argument.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Johnson was charged with assault, in which there are two individuals that are listed in his bond conditions and whom he's not supposed to have contact with. And it just moved. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it back up because I lost it again. That's my apologies. The two complainants are Curtis Johnson and Amos Vaughn. One of these individuals is his uncle. The other is a family friend of his father whom he lives with. His father is also someone who has disabilities in which Mr. Johnson does care for. So we're asking that the bond conditions be amended to allow Mr. Johnson to return home. That way he can care for his father. I did supply the state with letters from the CWs and from the father stating that they do wish for him to return home as well.
State. Make sure your microphone's turned on the table.
I talked to both of the victims, and they are okay with Mr. Johnson returning home. So the state is not opposed. However, the state would like to add no threatening, harassing, and abusive contact instead of the no contact.
And we would not have any objection to that, Judge.
All right, motion's granted. I'll modify the bond condition and I'll add the condition you requested as well.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Let me sign the order before you bring in the next case. Okay. Hillary, please turn your video on. Mr. Guillory, please turn your video on. We're on the record in 23 CCR 237076 and 23 CCR 237068, State of Texas versus Moses Albert Guillory. Mr. Washington, we're here on a motion to modify bond conditions. Submit your argument. Mr. Washington, can you hear me? No, they should be able to hear me through Zoom.
It looks muted from our end.
My camera, yeah, no, it's all running through this system. Mr. Washington. Mr. Washington. Mr. Washington, can you hear me? Okay, move on to the next case. Martinez, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me change my.
Desmond Hawthorne. Client going
He's-
to join us?
He's trying to, I told him to get on Chrome, Your Honor. He was trying to use Safari and he was having issues on it. So this is just before you got on, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Burks. Felix Burks, is your client on Zoom?
I believe so, Your Honor. Mr. Josh is back from cover. He's in Charlotte next. Much further. No, he's on. I'll see if I can get a hold of him.
You don't see him? Okay. I'll give you a little bit of time.
Your Honor.
Move on to the next case, James. Darian James, right up here. Captio, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're on the record in 23 CCR 237092, State of Texas versus Darian James. Did you give the court an update?
Judge, spoke with Mr. James. We were anticipating entering a plea, but after we discussed it a little bit more, Mr. James decided he wants to have a trial in his case. I notified ADA Colin Scoville about that. And so we just need the blood discovery order signed. And then we can proceed with the dates that I think you've already set for us, Judge.
Didn't I sign that yesterday, Sarah?
Speak up, Sarah.
All right, the person doesn't have a signature on it. Might just be approved.
I believe I signed that blood discovery yesterday, Mr. Capatillo. We're checking with the clerk's office. They may not have accepted it in yet, but if it's not signed, we'll get it signed as soon as possible. We got a trial date on February 18th.
Yes, sir. And pretrial January 30th, correct, sir?
Correct.
And Judge, I did submit the blood discovery that was signed by defense counsel. I submitted that to DPS. DPS did accept that. The last email I received from DPS, it takes them approximately 90 days to upload blood discovery.
Better hurry.
We have a portal now, Judge. Typically, it's taken a lot less time, but they just gave me a rough estimate.
All right. Thank you. Anything further, Mr. Capatillo?
No, sir.
All right, you and your client are free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Dexter Chapa.
That's that you're on.
We're on the record in 23 CCR 235398, State of Texas versus Dexter Leon Chapa. Counselor, give me an update.
Yes, Your Honor. We discovered some new information as of this morning. I'm gonna have to request a withdrawal. There's a conflict in our office. The witness in this case is also going to be represented by our office. Separate that case, who's a co-defendant with the CW in this case. So,
Okay, have you filed a motion?
no, I have not discovered this morning, Your Honor. I've been in court all morning, but I'll file one today.
All right, file your motion. I'll grant it. And then we'll get him a new attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Y'all are free to go. Thank you. Jones. Okay, move on. Next case, Solano. If they have a revocation file, notify me. All right, Mr. Axel, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're on the record in 23 CCR 236277, State of Texas versus Luis Enrique Solano. Mr. Axel, give me an update on the case.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gavin O'Brien is the prosecutor assigned this case. He's in trial, but he did let me know that Mr. Solano is eligible for the Safe Start program. I've reached out to Peggy and waiting on a response, and our hope is that we can get him evaluated and hopefully into the program before I believe we have another status hearing set for the 22nd of next month, that we can get all that done, hopefully by that date.
All right, you are correct. You do have another status conference on the 22nd. So hopefully you can get it done by then and he's in the program.
Judge, if I may.
You may.
Thank you.
Mr. Axel, we literally just got an email from Miss Bijou. Your client is scheduled for a TRAS on October 8th at 8:15 a.m.
Okay.
Make sure he appears.
Yes, you do, Judge.
All right, thank you for the update, Mr. Axel. You and your client are free to go.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
You too, Charlo. Good afternoon, Mr. Schaefer. If you'd unmute yourself, please.
Now,
All right. We're on the record in 23 CCR 237118, State of Texas versus Jermel Charlo. If you would give me an update on the case, Mr. Schaefer.
well, so we have been in conversations off and on with the prosecutor since the last setting. We're trying to obtain a dismissal. I think they have witness issues. Prosecutor is looking to see if they can make their case with 911 calls and
I'm sorry, sir.
witness issues. And that was sort of the last time that we talked.
Mr. Schaefer, you are breaking up a little bit here and there. Could you try to repeat some of that? Maybe go back about 2 sentences.
Let me find my microphone. Is this better? Can you hear me any better?
Not really, but let's go with it.
All right. Is this any better?
Yes.
Okay. So the prosecutor and I have had a couple of conversations since the last setting, where we are trying to obtain a dismissal of charges. The state has problems with witnesses. They're looking to see if they can make a case without calling witnesses and just relying on tape, on recordings. That was the last conversation we had. I suppose we'll talk soon, but I don't know if there's been any resolution on the state's part.
All right, State.
We're still in the process of evaluating the case, Your Honor. We had a conversation with the defense attorney about a month ago in which he referenced some information he could send to me. So we're also waiting on that.
All right, thank you all for the update. Mr. Schaefer, you and your client are free to go.
Okay, Your Honor, there's one issue I wanted to bring up regarding bond. My client he's a boxer. He's been training in Dallas and in Las Vegas over the last 6 weeks or so, or 8 weeks. And I know one of the requirements is that he come back to Houston periodically for drug testing, even though drugs aren't part of the underlying charge. And we don't mind drug testing. It's just a matter of him having to travel back to Fort Bend County just for that purpose. So I'm wondering if there's another way we could satisfy the court without making him travel back and forth for that.
Well, he still has to meet with his pretrial monitor. And based on the docket entry that I see from March 22nd of this year, he's only going to be tested when he meets with his monitor once per month. So you asking that he not even meet with his monitor as well once per month?
I mean, if the court has some concern that he could be a risk of flight and so he needs to report in every month, and I'm not going to quarrel with that. But I mean, you know, he's had a great record on bond, no violations at all. We're not doing anything to delay this case at all. If you ordered us to trial, we could be ready in 3 or 4 weeks. So, I mean, realistically, I don't think he needs to be monitored. Court feels that he does, and I totally, you know.
Well, look, I'll say this, Mr. Schaefer. File a motion for bond modification outlining what you want done. We'll set it for a hearing prior to your next setting, which is on 10/24. And you can present those arguments at that time regarding the bond modification. The court will consider it based on how he has done on bond for the past 6 months or so.
Okay.
All right.
Right away. Thank you, sir.
Very good. You and your client are free to go.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
You may.
Yes, thank you.
Sarah, next case, Mojica. Do we have the attorney, April Lopez? She's in the waiting room. Bring her in. Ms. Lopez.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. So, Ms. Lopez, it was brought to my attention by my bailiff and my court coordinator that your client, Damaso Mojica, speaks Spanish only.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I need you to submit an ISR form in compliance with our language access plan, each and every docket, or prior to docket, I should say. I recommend that you go to the language access page on the Fort Bend County website, review that policy, and make sure that you're in compliance. I now have to pass today's hearing due to the fact that I do not have an interpreter present for Mr. Mojica. Okay?
I apologize, Your Honor.
That's all right. All right, the hearing is passed. You and your client are free to go. I'll see you back on 10/24 for the next status hearing. I expect an interpreter there, and I expect an update.
Thank you.
Thank you. Phillips. Is it just Mr. Stevens? Where's Mr. Phillips? Oh, he's joining. It's taking time. Mr. Stevens, your client's in the waiting room. We're trying to pull him in. He might have some connectivity issues, and it's just taking some time.
Okay.
So we're bringing the next case while we wait on him to come in. Mr. Kumal, if you turn your video on, thank you. All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 237194, State of Texas versus Abubakar Kumal. Mr. Craig, would you give the court an update on the case?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. I've spoken with the state, Your Honor. We are still waiting on a response to the PTI application that has been submitted. Our understanding and tentative agreement that approval will dispose of this case and his pending felony case if he gets into the PTI program.
You think we'll have a response by the next status docket?
Potentially, Judge. There's 2 pending felonies. The PTI is being reviewed by the Deputy Chief of Felony. We haven't yet gotten a definitive answer from her yet. I know I've been in contact with 88 Mitchell. He's getting on that to kind of put this at the forefront of the Deputy Chief.
All right, Mr. Craig, hopefully by the next setting, we'll have an answer on the PTI.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good afternoon.
You do the same. All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 236102, State of Texas versus Sadeha Lachelle Phillips. Mr. Stevens, would you give the court an update?
Judge, we've received, I'm pretty sure, all discovery, digital and written. I don't think the state has had contact with the victim, if you want to call it that, in just 3 weeks shy of a year. So we're waiting for to be bluntly, we're waiting for a dismissal, Judge.
based on the evidence, not just failure to, but it's been passed around a little bit, and I understand that this prosecutor needs to look into it, but it's been looking like a dismissal to me from day one, Judge. That's all I can say. Based on the evidence.
State, would you like to say anything?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm still trying to get a hold of the victim. I will definitely have something for Mr. Stevens before the next status hearing.
All right. Next docket, we'll have an answer.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you and your client are free to go. Thank you for the update. Townsend.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Bring your client up. All right, we're on the record in 24 CCR 237-340, State of Texas versus Otis Ray Townsend. Counselor, why don't you give the court an update?
Your Honor, we received an offer from the state. I conveyed that offer to the client. We are not in a position to accept that offer currently. We request the special second.
All right, well, y'all can continue to negotiate if you want. Next setting's on 1024.
Thank you.
Y'all are free to go. Thank you for the update.
Sorry,
Your name?
James Hale.
Thank you.
Is client present? For on the record in 23 CCR 237-224 and 23 CCR 237-281, State of Texas versus August Zachary Walla. Mr. Venza, would you report an update?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Nice to see you.
Good afternoon.
So I met with Miss Mary yesterday. There is kind of a plea bargain offer. It is subject, it sounds like, or maybe not subject to the acquiescence of the complainant, but she wants to run it by the complainant. I know that there were attempts between Miss Mary and the complainant to get a hold of each other yesterday. As of last night, I don't believe that they have been able to touch base. I think that's probably the most succinct way to say where we are. We're close. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get something done that we can do in court this Friday, but I'll let the state take it from there.
State.
That is correct, Your Honor. I had contacted the victim and she actually contacted me back. So she is there. I will try to contact her again today. And hopefully by Friday, we will be able to have a resolution.
Okay. Thank y'all for the update. You and your client are free to go, Mr. Venza.
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice day.
You do the same.
Okay, take care. Bye.
We're on the record in 23 CCR 237-179, State of Texas versus Curtis David Robertson. Mr. Robertson, if you would turn your video on, please. All right. Ms. Bronson, if you give the court an update on the case.
Yes, Your Honor. So we have received discovery. We have received an offer and discussed it with our client. We are currently working on mitigation and negotiating with the prosecutor at this time.
Anything you want to add, State?
Nothing to add.
All right. Thank you for the update. You're free to go. You and your client both. That was quick.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Romero. Ten one. All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 235016, State of Texas versus Alicia Romero. Mr. Jackson, would you give the court an update? But before you begin that, I need to notify you that a bond revocation has been filed in regards to this case. It is now set on 10-1 for a hearing.
Sure, I'm familiar, Your Honor. I spoke with Ms. Romero this afternoon regarding the facts of that revocation. As it relates to status on this particular matter, the state and I think, are at a point that we'll be able to proceed with the disposition, excuse me, for 12 months deferred with a decision-making and an anger management course as additional terms for this deferred plea. I'd ask the court if we could have that done on 10-1 in lieu of the bond revocation hearing. I think if the court would consider that, I think that would work out for all parties.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, I'm trying to get a plea date from my coordinator here. What is it? 10. Oh, that's the same one? You just want to leave it on that date too as well? Okay. 10, we'll just play it out on 10-1. Is that good for you,
Yeah.
Mr. Jackson?
It works. You threw me off, Your Honor. Very rarely do I see you smile in our proceedings, so I didn't know if I had said something that.
No, I tried to communicate with my coordinator here, and I can't hear her. So.
Okay.
All
so
right. Thank you, Mr.
10-1.
Jackson.
So on 10-1, we'll be proceeding with the execution of the plea terms. Do I understand that correctly, Your Honor?
That's correct.
Perfect. That's all I have. I don't know if there's anything else from the state.
I think we're done here.
Nothing to add from the state, Judge.
All right. You have a good one.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take care.
You do the same. Mitchell. Might be with Mr. Monks. Mr. Monks, good afternoon.
Your Honor, it is always a pleasure and a privilege to see you, sir. How are you today?
I'm good, Mr. Monks. Thank you for asking. Is your client with you in your office?
Yes, Your Honor. I've got to bring her in right now.
All right.
Lisa, come on in. Just sit right over here. Yes, Your Honor. She's just come into my office.
All right. We're on the record in 23 CCR 237177, State of Texas versus Lisa Mitchell. Mr. Monks, why don't you give the court an update on the case?
May it please the court. I've had some conversations with the prosecutors, either email or generally by email. They've made 2 or 3 different offers. One of them includes some jail time. The other includes a straight conviction and probation. I'm talking to my client about which one works best for her. Obviously, she's 56 and not in very good health, so we want to do everything we can to avoid her having to go to an institutional concept.
Understand. All right. Well, you've got some time to continue to work it out. If you come to a resolution or you figure out what the plea agreement will be, you can always contact my coordinator and schedule a plea hearing prior to your next status hearing on 10/24.
Your Honor, as I said before, it's a pleasure. I anticipate that we'll be able to resolve. Okay?
Sounds good, Mr. Monks.
Have a great
I'll
day.
see you before 10/24 then.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. Glenn. Palomino.
Good afternoon.
Client here?
He's here, but we have an issue that he is a Spanish speaker only, Your Honor.
Okay. And you heard the statement I made to the other defense
correct, Your Honor.
counsel? Okay. I'm gonna have to pass the hearing.
Understood.
I'm gonna need you to file an ISR form for the next hearing on 10/24 prior to that date, so we ensure that we have an interpreter present for your client.
Will do, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you and your client free to go. All right, we're on the record in 19 CCR 211163, State of Texas versus Stephen Morin. Mr. Bennett, why don't you give the court an update?
Yes, sir. We had an agreement and a plea on Mr. Moran where he had to serve weekends for a DWI. I think he did one or two, and then he did not appear. And with that, KP's was issued. He didn't fulfill his conditions, I guess. And we're here. I think the state and I reached an agreement where he was to serve 30 days on to fulfill his plea.
So is he coming in on 11/8 to conduct the plea, or are we going to do it another day? You want to move it up?
Well, yeah, he actually to beat the holidays, he wanted to come in this weekend and start. I mean, or Friday or something. But I know we're constrained by how many, whenever we have a hearing.
Yeah, I could fit you in. What's the earliest plea docket? I can fit you in on October 1st.
Okay, well, I'll certainly be there, and I hope he's attending virtually. I don't know.
He is.
Oh, he is. I don't know if I can even talk to him, but
Mr. Moore, you can unmute yourself and you can speak to your attorney.
Sir?
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. Did you hear what we just said?
Yes, sir. But I wasn't requested to attend weekends. That wasn't a part of the last deal.
But you did.
I heard this time.
Okay, but you agree with that we've reached an agreement where you do 30 days to fulfill your plea agreement?
Yes. Would I be able to do those on the weekend? Because I never violated anything for not showing up on a weekend.
Well, you didn't show. I got notice that you didn't show up.
Bennett, I'm going to stop you right there, Mr. Bennett.
My phone is messing up. I apologize.
Mr. Moore, hold on. Why don't you and Mr. Moore and Mr. Bennett have a conversation offline about this deal and the specifics behind it? And I'll see both of you on 10/1 at 9.
Okay. And did you hear that, Mr. Moran? You got to be there at 10/1.
I'm not sure what that means. What is it?
October the 1st, you have to be in court, the same court that you were in before. And we'll finalize this. And I'm gonna call you on your phone in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, and please pick it up.
All are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, Judge. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
All right, let's move back to the beginning of the docket. Guillory. What date is it set for? Mr. Washington, can you hear me? Mr. Washington, can you hear me? Mr. Washington. I know my microphone works. It's worked for everybody else. Washington. All right, let's move on. Who's next? Mr. Martinez, you're up.
My client was still having issues technicality wise with the Zoom, Your Honor. I wanted to approach to see if we could get it passed till the 1st.
It's just a motions hearing, right? We're not here for a status, correct?
Yeah, it was added to the.
Okay, that's fine, but that's fine. Come on up. Okay. Couple things. Number one, file a motion to go with the order. There's no motion on file.
Follow it again.
Yeah.
So, try it again.
I've got an order, but I've got no motion that it goes with that order. So try to go get that filed. And is this also one that has the revocation?
Yes, Your Honor.
They filed a
Yeah, I got this
revocation.
surprise. So now I know it's two surprises today. Okay, I'll
All
try
right.
it again, Your Honor.
Well, that's fine. And it probably works out for the best then. So just reschedule your hearing. We'll probably end up having the revocation hearing prior to your bond modification hearing at this point.
Fine.
Okay. All right.
Here.
You're free to
I
go.
apologize.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Let's go to Burks.
Is he online?
I don't know. Sarah?
I guess, Your Honor, that's a motion for early termination, so I guess we will not be early terminating today.
He will not.
We request pass and we'll contact the court and we can get in touch with him.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go through Flynn real quick, because that's the other one on the docket we're waiting on. No, actually, excuse me, Jones. Let's go to do Jones first. Mr. Ryan? Is he coming? He's still not there. You emailed him and checked, okay. Mr. Jones, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Can you turn your video on? Perfect.
Okay, I'm
All right.
trying to do it
Mr.
right now.
Jones?
Come show me. Yes, sir. I'm here.
Mr. Jones, your attorney is not present for this hearing. We have reached out to him via email asking if he would be appearing today. We have not heard back from him. As a result, we're going to go ahead and pass your hearing for today. You still have your next setting on December 19th for a pretrial conference.
September 19th?
December 19th.
December 19th. Okay.
For your pretrial conference. It's in person, 9 a.m. in my courtroom. We'll see you then. You're free to go.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
You're free
So
to
I
go.
just
Mr.
so I
Washington,
just leave?
You hear me?
Huh?
You're free to go. Mr. Washington, can you hear me?
I can, Your Honor.
All right. Wonderful. We're working now. Let me get back to your client's case. One second. Okay, we're on the record in 23 CCR 237-076 and 23 CCR 237-068, State of Texas versus Moses Albert Guillory. Sarah, is this one of those cases as well? Mr. Washington, I need to notify you that a bond revocation has been filed in this case. You can proceed with your bond modification motion, but we do need to address that bond modification on what date? On the October 15th. You may want to wait until that date.
May I respond, Your Honor?
You may.
That's a wonderful point, Judge, and I wasn't sure if it was prudent to address this today, given that we'll likely have to address the issue that was presented to me yesterday regarding that pretrial bond supervision report. So I agree that it's probably best to address it at that later date, Your Honor.
I think it would be best to address everything at once. So if you want, we can pass today's hearing and we can handle everything together unless
Yes,
there's
Your Honor.
necessity that requires the hearing to be heard today.
I don't think that there is, Judge. I think your suggestion is probably best, Your Honor. So I agree.
Okay, very good then. We'll pass today's hearing and we'll deal with the matter on the 15th. You and your client are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, we have one case left. Ryan Flynn. Is anybody present? State. Bailiff.
No, that's all right, 329.
New bond set in the amount of $4,000 in this case. Any prior bond conditions? All right, defendant's prior bond conditions shall remain in place. Sarah, if you'd enter that in the system.
Phillips?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
All right, I'm concluding the Zoom hearing.